Good morning. I had a request for some fiction that had a little more humor in it, and I'm going to read some pieces from a group that comes out of Unchained Religion. It's about a cast of characters that include Granny, who's something of the matriarch of the family, Jolynn, who is a favored aunt, um, Hattie, who is another favorite aunt, Zeke, who is I guess Zeke is more of the family black sheep a little bit, but he's very knowledgeable about things. Daddy is the father of the group. Then you have Billy, who is the cousin. He's another odd sort kind of thing. And then, well, let's just start with some of that. Um, but the first one is basically the title poem is called Cows Know. Granny said she heard an owl hooting, and that meant somebody was going to die. Jolynn said that came true only if it hooted 3 times, and she had to wait and see if it hooted 3 times. Hattie said that somebody on this earth died every day anyway. Zeke said he was going out to make sure that owl didn't get none of his chickens. The owl left. One time, Daddy had a fungus on his toes, and he let the dog lick it and the fungus went away. Hattie told him she read that we have healing stuff in our own spit. Daddy said he bet he couldn't get Mama to lick his toes. Granny's daddy was a preacher. He'd go outside in the thunderstorms and raise up his arms and holler and pray and talk to God. Granny said her Mama never would let her go out there and pray with him. Told her God protected fools and children, but she didn't know if he had a mind to protect two in the same family. Zeke walked under the ladder, and Granny screamed at him. Did he have no respect for her at all? You'll notice as I read these little short poems or brief stories, so to speak, that there is superstition involved, and I've kind of twisted it to put the humor in, and also at times tried to include some of the logic behind them. So we're going to carry on. Zeke says Billy has issues. He said he has a corn cob where the sun don't shine. Granny told him to shut up. Molly told me Billy has corn cobs in his cellar and was saving them for his cows. What's wrong with that? When Zeke goes out the door, he has to come back in the same one. Says if he might not, he might never come back at all. I wonder where he wants to go. Jolynn says she had a dream last night about Miss Collins getting married in a green wedding dress. Miss Collins died last night, and Jolynn says she had on a green nightgown. Jolynn scares me sometimes. Granny hid her soda pop in the coal stove in the summertime. Pappy never did figure it out. One time he told Jolynn to hide his in there. Jolynn near died laughing. Some folks said Granny was a witch because she never did get sick. Of course, when she was doctoring them, they said she was Miss Angel. Granny says folks are contrary. Miss Brown has a restaurant, but Granny says I can't eat there. Pappy takes me down there sometimes on Saturdays when Granny don't know. I ain't never seen no food anyway. Zeke came home late last night. He'd been gone 5 days, and you'd have thought they'd be happy to see him. Granny said he smelled like a sot. I smelled him. He just smelled like Zeke to me. There's a ring around the moon that has Granny scared half to death. She's got the garden in, and there's green poking up from the ground all over. Hattie says don't worry about it, that God don't make no mistakes. Granny said, yeah, but that don't mean humans don't, and she shouldn't have planted till the oak leaves was as big as the squirrel's ear. Full moons make babies come too. I recollect sitting out in a hot dark with Pappy, looking at that Milky Way. He tells me to look hard and often, because one day when I'm old, I won't be able to see it no more. I asked why. He says, "'Cause people's making the air dirty. I ain't old." And it's gone. The only time Zeke and Pappy sat together was at Christmas and on Super Bowl Sunday. Granny says it's a sin to think on Jesus and football in the same thought. Pappy said it's a sin not to. Jolynn saw a dead possum yesterday. She's still screaming because it weren't dead. Hattie said unsportsman conduct goes for women too. They were watching football. Jolynn says sometimes that's the only way to make things happen. Jolynn said Billy got hit by the lightning bolt. I says, "Oh no, is he dead?" She laughed and said, "He will be when Miss Rebecca's done with him." I'm wondering where she gets this stuff. There was 9 fogs in August. The last one was so thick, Mama told me not to breathe it, that the winter's going to be bad enough without me being sick. I got mad and run out holding my breath and let that fog wrap all around me. I like fog. More to come.